What is up, my people? I hope this is the right mic. It is. Okay, that was my test. I'm sorry. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another week. Another award show audit.
Hey, guys. PIEGUYRULZ here. Test 1, test 2. How do I sound? How quiet is Shadow this week? Hello, hello, hello.
Hopefully not too quiet.
Oh, man. I am tired, but hopefully I'll be able to shake that off and have a high-energy show here for you all.
I'm still eating dinner, so I'm going to be muting on and off, guys. I apologize.
Shadow's going the quietest he can be.
Because I keep moving away from my mic to take a drink.
How respectable of you. You don't want to do some ASMR shadow eating?
I don't think. I mean, there are probably some people that are into that, but not everyone.
Here, I'll tell you what. You just keep eating, and I'll do the Foley work.
Do it.
All right, there you go. That's what shadow eating sounds like.
I don't know if I should be like insulted or like impressed.
I've seen you eat in real life. You eat like Homer Simpson. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you for the super chat, G and Bailey. You dreamt that we did this in front of a live studio audience. We were talking about the Muppets, so I replaced Shadow with Arlo. Oh man, that would be really cool. Arlo seems awesome. You joined the stream to hear Pie Guy's impression of Shadow eating.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Shadow, after this is up and in video form, can we just cut the first part off so it just begins with those wonderful sounds?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure YouTube's editor will allow that, so if you want to, that's how we can start.
Just start every show with just horrendous eating noises. Horrendous fake eating noises. See, that's how you know we're professionals. We edit out the eating noises, but then we also just include over-the-top eating noises. If we just left in your eating noises, that wouldn't be funny. Anyway, welcome to the award show audit. Yeah, what are you having for dinner? Probably frozen pizza.
Not frozen pizza, leftover pizza from Pizza Hut.
Oh, I had Domino's today.
Nice.
I got the door. It was Domino's.
Hey. Well, no one out pizzas the Hut. Hashtag not sponsored.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. The year is 1995. Ooh. We're going back in time here. We're in this like weird period where it's before most of the cartoons that like we're familiar with, but after all like that big boom of 80s shows, you know, like the Disney Afternoon and everything. So, yep, birth year of a lot of people here apparently. Nice. Toy Story. Yep, that happened. Okay, so Shadow music in 1995.
You say that like I'm gonna know the answer.
Billboard's top 10, 1995. Oh yeah, you'll know these, obviously. I mean, honestly, actually, I know most of these songs. Can you get any of them?
No, I can't.
All right, on number 5 in the Billboard Top 100 Hits of 1995, we have "On Bended Knee," Boys to Men. Okay, I don't know that one. But at number 4, we got "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal. I'm sure you know that.
Oh my god, I actually know that song.
Yep. It was on. I know it because it was on Community.
I know it because it's from Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
What Batman?
Was it Batman Forever or Batman and Robin? I think it was one of those two. Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, Batman. I think it was Batman and Robin.
Isn't Michael Keaton coming back?
Forever. It's Forever.
To Batman? Isn't he the new Batman now?
No.
He's old Batman? Yeah, because...
No, Robert Pattinson's Batman. Wait, I'm confused.
No, but he's gonna be old Batman. The DC Extended Universe is a mess, everyone. I don't know what to tell you.
And yeah,
all
it's
right.
Batman Forever. Thank you, chat.
At number 3 is the TLC song "Creep." It's a song I think they wrote about you, Shadow.
Why? Because I play Minecraft a lot. Well, I used to.
Sure.
So we're back in the mines.
Mm-hmm. No, that was not on here. Number 2, also from TLC, Waterfalls. And at number 1, the top song of 1995 was "Gangsta's Paradise" by Coolio. Later parodied beautifully by Daniel Radcliffe himself, Weird Al.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever actually heard "Gangsta's Paradise," but I've heard "Amish Paradise."
Did you ever see the first Sonic movie trailer?
No.
Oh well.
Oh, that's right. It was in there.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. Don't go Jason Waterfall. That is the song. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Bum bum bum, or however it goes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's music. Huzzah.
Yeah.
Are you done eating now? Have I stalled long enough?
No, but we can go through the nominees anyways.
All right, Shadow. What were the nominees for the 1995 half-hour or less laminated Emmy?
The nominated nominees for 1995 were as follows: The Rugrats with A Rugrats Passover.
Nice.
Dexter's Laboratory with the episode Changes, the first pilot. Daisy Head Maisie. Dr. Seuss.
Daisy Head.
No,
Daisy
stop.
Head,
Next nominee. Okay, Tiny Toon Adventures with the Night Ghoulery.
We're tiny.
And no. And last but not least, The Simpsons with Lisa's Wedding.
Bum, 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 ba-dum.
And those are the 5 nominees. Oh boy, what a night we have ahead of us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we can just go in that order, I guess. So first up, Rugrats with A Rugrats Passover.
You know, Shadow, this is one episode you shouldn't pass over. Okay. So, in this episode, basically a bunch of the Rugrats and their parents are going over to Tommy's grandparents' house to celebrate Passover. But Grandpa Boris argues with Grandma Minka, I think, and he kind of goes off to the attic, and she's distraught because she thinks he's missing. But in reality, he's locked in the attic. And then one by one, every other character gets locked in the attic too. And that's it. That's the whole episode. There's nothing else that happens.
He's not kidding, guys.
Well,
That's
no.
legit all that happens.
While they're locked in the attic, Grandpa tells the story of Passover, and it's basically like a kid-friendly Rugrats version of the story of Passover.
It's pretty good.
All right, moving on. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. No, yeah, this episode is actually really solid. I'm glad that one of the Jewish holiday episodes of Rugrats got nominated at least. This was definitely like a little higher production than a regular Rugrats episode. There's a little more like shading and detail in the backgrounds, and yeah, like I think that production-wise, this looks really good for a show from 1995, and definitely deserved to be nominated for that. But also just because there really wasn't a lot of cartoon episodes about Passover back then, and also probably not now still, right? Like,
yeah,
I
can't
can think of a few
any.
Hanukkah episodes at this point, but not any other Passover. I was gonna say maybe Veggie Tales, but I think that's the wrong religion.
That is the wrong religion. Yes.
maybe Fruit Stories told this one.
Honestly,
yeah.
I could not name a single episode of any other cartoon or animated anything that I could think of that's about Passover. So,
No.
like, that on its own, like, the fact that there still isn't a lot, you know, catered towards that sort of thing. I mean, I'm sure there's, like, direct-to-DVD stuff, you know. But, yeah, I think this is a really standout episode of the Rugrats and animation in general. I absolutely agree that this deserved to be nominated. You know, one thing that I kind of gave that King of the Hill episode props for a couple weeks ago was making an episode about something that you don't see too many other shows ever really acknowledge or talk about. And the fact that that's still true to this day is, like, even more insane. But the fact that it does that, and it does it really well. I like the way that, in typical Rugrats fashion, they take the characters and put them in this kind of, like, you know, it's a fantastical retelling of historical events. And I like that, you know, it's really cool that they use the babies to kind of tell the story, and they obviously adapt it to the situation.
Right.
With, you know, the Pharaoh, you know, not liking babies rather than Hebrews. You know, it's definitely more kid friendly, but it really does tell the story, and it tells it in a very good way. And I will absolutely say that I love the running joke of everyone just not not leaving the attic door open and locking themselves in. And it's just this consistent thing. I think that that's great. It's got a fun build up. I love Stu in this episode is hilarious with how much he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. He's so well written. Like, Boris, like, disappears. He's like, okay, I guess we can go home now. Like, he's just like, he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't care.
Yeah, Dee Dee's trying to make him, like, lead in the reading of like the texts, and he's not Jewish. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's struggling with it so much, and Dee Dee's like, read the text, Stu.
Yeah.
put some heart into it.
Yeah, where's your enthusiasm? And he's just like, I can't do this.
It's like, I don't want to be here. Boris does this better. And then Minka starts crying because Boris is mentioned.
Oh, every time they say Boris's name, she cries. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see the reboot tackle this.
Yeah, right? Exactly. It never would.
Media Fanatic asks how the picture quality is this on Paramount Plus. Hot trash! Like all Rugrats on Paramount Plus, apparently.
Yep. It looks like it was ripped from a VHS almost. Like,
yes, I absolutely don't hold it against the episode, because I know, just from my own memory, that this was not that the ugly color bleed and the low resolution, like, that is not this episode. That is just the terrible version that's on Paramount Plus. Because, like, why would you want to preserve your like flagship show for the first 10 years of making originals? Why would you want to preserve that at all? Who cares, right? When you can, we got the new babies. Why do we need? It's just sad. Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, it's not good, but I still think that the just the design stands through. The terrible picture quality shows through. That's a good point. South Park does have a Passover episode. Very different. Very different.
I can't say I'm surprised by that, though. It is South
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this was definitely my introduction to the story of Passover, and honestly, I don't even know if I know it. Do I know of any other Passover stories? Maybe not.
I've definitely learned about it in my past.
Yeah,
I'm not Jewish, but I've definitely learned about it.
Well, I know that the red stuff, I think, is what they call it in the show.
Yeah,
it's blood.
It's blood
in the
blood
real
of a
story.
lamb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an angel of death that goes over the houses and the homes and all that, but not whatever it was, a fog or something. But yeah, obviously.
Also, leave it to Angelica to identify with a dictator.
Yeah, right.
it's pretty great.
It's in character.
Yes,
so.
Very much so. Like it's kind of a cute thing that they like in this it's babies, right? Like those are the people that are oppressed. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's very tastefully done in that it kind of makes the changes it needs to make to still make it be Rugrats and to make it be kid friendly, but like the broad strokes of what happened is still there. It's not like they completely. This isn't really like a Disney version of the story. I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely feels pretty tasteful for sure, and I enjoyed it. I'd probably watch it again. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
pretty
same.
fun. It's a good time.
I haven't seen it in a little bit, but I do kind of feel like the Hanukkah episode is a little better than this one.
Hmm.
I don't think that came out in the same time period. I think that was like a year before. But still, I think they're both great specials, and that they helped lead Rugrats to get renewed because this technically happened after the show had ended. This is the weird specials that they produced. That like props to Nickelodeon for being like, yeah, you want to make specials about holidays that don't traditionally get a lot of specials? Sure, why not? Right?
Yeah.
I feel like probably the reason why there aren't a lot of Passover specials is just because, like the Christmas season is like marketable to TV people, executives, right? And Hanukkah is adjacent to that, right? So you can kind of shove a Hanukkah B plot in a Christmas episode, or you can have a Hanukkah special that you kind of air around the December holiday season. But Passover doesn't fit within that window, so they don't care, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I think the capitalism aspect has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm. That's always it. Passover is the story of Exodia.
The Forbidden One.
Exodus.
When I summon all 5
Exodus.
pieces of the Forbidden One,
Oh,
I will
gosh.
automatically win the duel, Kaiba.
Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh had a Passover episode.
I don't think it did. I don't think it did.
Let my people go, Kaiba.
You need to believe
if
in
you
the
lose
heart.
if you lose this duel, you'll build a pyramid for me.
Yeah. Well, it's fitting because it's Egyptian. There's a lot of
Yeah,
Egyptian motifs and
what I-
artifacts. It's perfect. It's
Yeah, that's-
perfect. Why didn't they do this? I'm disappointed.
They might
Yu-Gi-Oh
have.
let me down. No, they didn't. I've read the whole manga. I've seen the whole show. They didn't do it. Maybe they did it in like 5Ds or something. But as far as I'm concerned, I am immensely disappointed that they never did this.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Wow. I'm never gonna see Yu-Gi-Oh the same way again. So
Kaiba, you will experience plagues like dead
I
draws.
summon Swarm of Locusts in attack mode.
You've activated my trap of frogs.
Oh my god. I use my Swarm of Lice to attack your life points directly. Oh, this is amazing. Why didn't they do this? Oh my god. You're right. It's all 4Kids' fault. Oh man, missed opportunities in life. That's one of them. You cannot deny that the Yu-Gi-Oh episode about Passover would not be memorable. It would be the most iconic episode of that whole show if they did that. Oh man, dude, you got me on a Yu-Gi-Oh tangent. Here we go. All right, we need to reel this back in before I get carried away more.
Yeah, Rugrats good.
So Rugrats
good.
is good. I enjoyed this. Loved it. It was pretty solid.
Yeah, it has like that, telling stories that aren't commonly told in children's cartoons. Bit of an animation bump. And it's just very, very solid and satisfying all around. Even if I didn't know this was based off of a religious story, it still feels like cool. It still feels like a story that works in its own right. So, props to it. So, hats off to it, and I think it's definitely in the running.
100%. All right, next up we have Dexter's Lab with the first ever pilot of the show, Changes.
Changes. Okay, so Dexter creates a remote that changes people into animals, and Dee Dee and Dexter fight over the remote.
I was hoping that summary would be a little longer so I could continue eating.
Nope. That's
but
it.
that is literally it. Yep.
I mean, it's like a 7-minute cartoon. What do you want, I guess? It's definitely better than the Dee Dee being giant one. What was that, last week, I think?
Yeah, the big sister.
Yeah, the big sister. Like, I think This might be the best thing Dexter-wise that we've talked about on the show, aside from Labretto.
Mm-hmm.
In that, like, really, it's just kind of a fun showing off of a bunch of animal designs.
Yeah.
You know? And some people worked on this that we like and make really good character designs. I'm not sure who they are.
Oh no.
No, but that's basically it. It's just kind of like it's that kind of cartoon of just kind of two characters fighting, and yeah, that's it. Like I don't know what to say about this. I think it looks pretty good. I think like some of the shots from this are used in the intro and outro of the actual show Dexter's Lab.
Yep.
So like it's kind of weird to watch because it's like they show a shot of like Dee Dee's door and you're like, hey, it's the door.
Yep. And then the part where Dexter's getting smashed by his machines and Dee Dee's like wrecking stuff, that's in there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dexter holding up the button, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, and you're right, Philip. It definitely does get at the heart of just this is what the show really is. You know, it's got Dee Dee entering Dexter's lab, pressing buttons, and the two kind of causing shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, I would say, yeah, I probably enjoyed this one a bit more. There's not too much to really talk about. There's not a lot of depth here.
No.
It is just, you know, wacky cartoon, characters fight. And they have an excuse to show off a bunch of cool monster animal designs. So yeah, I mean, it's clear to me that they had fun making this. It was fun. It's definitely the start of what the show would eventually become, and I see a lot of ideas that would eventually blossom into, you know, other things.
Blossom.
Oh.
Commander and the leader.
Man, that was a Freudian slip right there. That's subconscious.
Yeah, there was a lot of good ideas bubbling up on the surface.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's you know, if I could tell Dexter one thing, you know, having to put up with Dee Dee, it would be suck it up, Buttercup. He needs to get some kind of Utonium device and kind of maybe like figure some science stuff out so he can get his mojo back, you know?
He needs to use his cerebellum on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He shouldn't steal Dee Dee's Fuzzy Lumpkins doll. That's not very cool. Yeah.
Remember the episode of this show that was like an anime?
Yeah. Yes.
Dexter's Lab. We didn't get to talk about like any of the cool things.
No, we didn't.
Dexter's Lab.
We really didn't. It was just Labretto, and then another generic episode or two, and then like the pilots. That's it.
Yeah, the movie didn't get nominated in the hour or more category. No. None of the weird stuff. Honestly, like you could even argue that maybe in the later seasons, like the weird avant-garde dad cartoons. No, avant-garde's the wrong word for it. Patience testing.
Oh man.
You know, you could even argue that maybe some of that deserves to be nominated just because it's something different, even if it's not good.
Yeah, man. I wanted to see the episode of Dexter's Lab where they go inside the dog's body.
I wanted to see the episode of Dexter's Lab where Saturdays were made for dads.
Oh, and Dad's car.
Dad's car.
You know, there's some random things that Dexter's Lab did teach me, like the fact that if you shake a light bulb, you can tell if it's out or not. I don't know why I remember that from Dexter's Lab, but I do, because there's this whole thing with them like shaking light bulbs to see if it makes a sound. And then I definitely remember the episode of Dexter's mom and that other woman fighting over the pair of rubber gloves. That was like that was intense.
I think that was a mom cartoon.
And yeah, there's other stuff like NRFB, which I still quote to this day. And yeah, I mean Dexter's Lab did have a lot of really cool, great episodes that were fun and memorable. It's just we never really get to talk about them.
Just we get stuck with pilots upon pilots on like first episodes. Mm-hmm. Right? Wasn't the sidekick one like the first episode? Allegedly.
Of what? Oh, of Dexter? It's listed as the first episode on HBO Max, but it's actually like the 7th or 8th of that season.
Okay, still pretty early.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we invite a very special guest on?
Yeah, I think there is a certain someone waiting backstage that's Mr. Hang on, let me see. I need to make sure that I get this name right. I'm not familiar with it. Mr. Tarkovsky, I think you're up. Hello, it's me, Gendy.
Gendy!
It's me.
Happy birthday, Gendy. Your birthday was yesterday.
You. It's me, yes. I'm 29 again.
Wow.
Yeah.
But wait, wasn't this made like 30 years ago?
I know. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm 29.
Oh gosh, this was made almost 30 years ago.
I'm 29. Well, thank you, chat. I am. It's me. Happy birthday to me.
Marty McFly is calling you a fake Gendy, but I kind of feel like that might not be the real Marty McFly either. Not either. Just period. End of sentence.
Marty McFly is a fictional character. I'm a real person, a Gendy.
Gendy, do you have any Shadow? You should share your pizza with Gendy.
I should share my Mr. Tarkovsky. Would you like a slice of my? Give me that. Gendy, calm down, bro. Don't speak into the mic while you eat. That's not cool, man. I backed away. Why won't you do the same?
All right, so Gendy, I have a serious allegation I need to bring up here. The tiger design in this episode. I think it might be a little derivative of Tony the Tiger.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
It was actually Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes.
Now, Gendy, do you feel like this episode created any furries?
No, that was a Space Jam.
Oh, okay.
Gendy out here spitting facts, yo.
I think Gendy. Does that mean that Gendy knows what a furry is?
I think he does because he answered the question.
All right.
Man.
Gendy, why did you redesign Dee Dee a little bit? What was wrong with her original design seen in this episode?
Well, you see, I had to make her what's the word? Not
shaped
mean.
Like a lamp.
Do you see her, that screenshot in the image? She's a little mean. I wanted to make her happier, not mean. Dee Dee not mean.
That's like a legitimate answer there. Good job, Gendy. Thanks.
Thank you.
That might be true. Chat, do you have any questions?
Do you have any questions for Gendy, guys?
I hate to tell you guys, this might be his last appearance.
I don't know. We'll see about that.
Well, wink, wink. It might be.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
When we do the animated adaptation for Netflix, Gendy's gonna become a recurring character.
Yes, of course.
I got a new show we're shopping called 7 p.m. Gospel. It's kind of just this show, but more Gendy.
Yeah, I made that one.
No, Gendy, that's us. We're making that one.
No, I made it.
No.
Gendy, why are you stealing our credit? We didn't even make it yet. No, I made it. I did it. It's me. I made everything. That's why I always win. Gendy, do you remember 1995? I know. It's probably better that you don't.
Yeah, Gendy did win a few didn't he win the Star Wars?
He won the Star Wars. Yes, I won the Star Wars. I won the Primal. I won the Samurai Jack.
Right. What did you do with all your Emmys?
My what?
Your Emmy awards that you won.
Oh, you mean the gold in the back scratches?
Oh, okay.
Oh, those are on my those are in my closet somewhere, I think. I don't know.
Khalid Larkins has a question. What do you think of Dexter and Dee Dee and Robot Chicken?
I made it.
You know, Gendy, Robot Chicken was the #1 show on Cartoon Network.
You know why? 'Cause I made it.
No, Gendy, it was me, Seth McGreen.
No, you're not going to steal my credit. It was me, Gendy. All right,
Wow,
well,
Gendy,
Gendy.
what was it like parodying your own shows then?
Well, I don't think he had an answer for that one. You kind of stumped him.
Get,
He got a little nervous there.
Gendy seems a little off today.
Yeah.
Will there be a Dexter's Lab movie?
I don't know. It's up to the network.
Gendy, of your shows, which one is most likely to get a movie first?
Hotel Transylvania. And
Oh,
it did. It's got 3 of them. No, that other one doesn't exist. They made that one without me, so it doesn't count.
Oh, all right. Do you think Hotel Transylvania Transformania ripped off
That's
Dexter's
not
Lab
real.
Changes?
It's not real. It doesn't exist.
Gendy, are you all right?
No. That's no. No.
Gendy,
No.
you sound like a soundboard tonight.
No.
Okay, all right, we need to move on. You're not as funny tonight, Gendy.
Oh. Okay, Gendy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Gendy.
Get out of here, Gendy.
You gotta go, man. Well, fine.
Maybe you can come back at the end of the show, depending on how we're doing on time.
Well, okay. I'll just go over here. No.
Give him some more pizza.
Oh, Gendy, here you go, man. It's okay. I didn't mean it. It's okay.
I did. So anyway, this short. Do you think it deserved to be nominated for the Emmy?
No.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! You just gonna say no?
Yeah.
No further elaboration?
I don't know. It's just a standard cartoon. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I think Gendy just heard me say that. I didn't mean it, Gendy. It's great. It was 10 out of 10. I know.
Listen. Oh. Hey, wait, you're not Gendy. What?
Wow.
Hello?
Gendy, where did you go?
I think there might have been 2 Gendys there for a second.
Whoa, that was crazy.
Did we get Gen dimensional?
Yeah.
Like the Dexter's Lab episode D-dimensional, the one we didn't see?
I think we did. That's
All right,
crazy.
we're
No,
we're
in all
honesty,
honesty, it's fine. It's fine pilot. I don't think it's really impressive in any way.
it kind of says something. Like, what?
Like,
I don't even think pilots should be considered unless they're like really something like crazy, right? A pilot's like a rough draft in a lot of cases. And that's what it feels like. That's what all these Dexter's Lab pilots felt like. They feel like rough drafts. And that's fine. That's completely fine. But it's like, why is this up for an award? I don't get it. I would say maybe it's worthy just considering that there isn't really a lot else to be nominated in 1995. That's the only reason I would consider this. Because it's not bad, but it's there.
yeah. It just kind of, it exists. It shows where the show is at its beginning, but it doesn't hold up compared to where it eventually would go.
Sure. All right, next.
But yeah. Okay, next up. Oh boy, are you ready? We have Daisy Head Maisie.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh boy. Here it comes.
All right, so Daisy Head Maisie. A little backstory is that this was the first book that was released after Dr. Seuss had passed away. I don't know the exact details, like if it was finished, but it sure doesn't feel like it was. They released this special, I believe, before the book. They came out in the same year. And yeah, so the special is Maisie, that girl pictured, grows a flower out of her head. Everyone in her town treats her like a freak show and tries to take advantage of her until an agent shows up and is like, "Yo, be in my freak show. You'll get money." And she's like, "Okay." And that's like the third word she said at that point. And then she does it, and then she gets sad and misses her family. And then the Cat in the Hat, who's been narrating, shows up and is like, "Hey, I'll take you back home. It's me, the Cat in the Hat." And then he does. And the lesson, and we had to be told this because it was not apparent, is that you shouldn't abandon your friends and family for fame and fortune.
Even though
no,
she
we're
didn't
not
really
going to
have...
talk in rhyme.
No. And this is heavily flawed in the writing department.
This is utter trash.
Yeah.
It's trash. And I mean this sincerely. I know Shadow won't agree with me. I would rather watch the CGI Lorax again than watch this again. I think that's a better piece of media. The Lorax at least is about something.
At least the Lorax has memes, I guess. I can't argue with that. Memes
a
always
woman?
win. Oh, God.
Okay, Danny DeVito, calm down. do we have Danny DeVito here?
I don't look at me. I don't have his contact information. I don't know.
No. Yeah.
All right, so
it's a garbage.
It's a garbage. I took that one from Gendy.
Yeah.
None of the songs are particularly memorable. This is like a
yeah,
semi-musical. Yeah, it's a semi-musical. I say that because it's like there's a couple songs in the beginning, and then it kind of just loses itself, and then there's like a song at the end, I think. And none of them are memorable, except for one in particular. And it's not because it's good. It's because it's in the typical na-na-na-na-na tone. And they just say Daisy had, Daisy had, Daisy had Maisie over and over and over and over and over again. And it's just grating on the ears. It's obnoxious. It's terrible. It overstays its welcome. Like, I get the point it's trying to drive home, but like it doesn't need to go on for as long as it does. And the fact that it's like a recurring, it's just awful. It's like unbearably bad at points.
Yeah. So it's all in rhyme, but so many of the rhymes are just awful. Like the teacher's name is like, what is it, Miss Leacher or something? Miss Sneacher. I don't know. It rhymes with teacher, and they say it like 5 times, like saying, Miss Sneacher, the teacher? How are you doing? I have a ship over here that needs some crewing. Like, that's the level of rhymes we get. It's bad. Yeah. It's terrible. It's awful, I say. Why, watching this special just ruined my day. I mean, like, no joke, you could come up with better rhymes on the spot than what's in here. Why do I believe this was nominated? Because Dr. Seuss died.
Because Dr. Seuss, yeah.
Yeah, and he died. And it's like, ooh, let's give an award to something that he, I guess, wrote. I don't know. I think he just wrote a draft of this and then...
Yeah, it was most likely, like, in progress, but never finished, and then...
It's like 45 pages, by the way. This Dr. Seuss book is very long. I mean, look, there's a lot here that I take issue with, but just the biggest thing is that, as a whole, this story doesn't make sense. And I'm not talking about a flower growing out of a little girl's head. Like, they don't explain it, but whatever. It's a fantastical event. Yeah. It doesn't coincide with anything. If you're wondering if this is a metaphor for like puberty or growing up or being special or something, no, it's none of that. The moral, according to the Cat in the Hat, is that it is about not abandoning your friends and family for money.
But none of her friends, if you can even call them that, treat her well enough to where she would have any sort of emotional appreciation for them. Family, sure. Like, I could kind of get a little bit of a connection between, like, her and her mom and dad. But anyone else in the town, they were either trying to take advantage of her situation, or they were making fun of her and putting her down, or they were ashamed.
Shadow, we could just run through it. So, the kids mercilessly mocked her, including just rhyme singing over and over again. Yep. The teacher drags her off, like picks her up and drags her off to the principal's office because she's being a distraction, I guess. The principal is like angry that he can't solve what's going on with her and throws her in a room, locks her away until her parents come. Her parents, I don't know, they don't do anything.
They're just ashamed, really. They're like, they're fainting, and they're just, like, torn over it. Like, it's the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. The mayor shows up and gets a song, and then wants to, I don't know, capitalize on her flat. Like
Don't-
I don't even know. But
don't
none
forget-
none of them show any kindness to her. None of them are like, oh, you know, Maisie, this must be really tough for you. I'm sorry you're going through this. It must be difficult to have a flower on your. No, none of them do.
Don't forget the doctor who literally says, I have no idea what's going on, but she'd be great for my research grant.
Yep.
Yeah, no, there's not a single character in here that shows any sort of sympathy or, you know, any sort of desire to actually help her. And then obviously, like, Mr. Businessman walks in and he's like, hey, we're going to make a ton of money. And then she has no issue signing her life away. And then all the characters are like, why would you do that? What the heck? You know, it's like, don't you love us? And it's like, well, you kind of treated her like terrible this entire time. Like, I can't see any reason why she would want to not sign it.
Yeah.
It's just
the agent. At least the agent is honest. He's like, hey, listen, you know, we're gonna use your flower to make you famous. Like, we're just gonna use you, and you're gonna get money. That's like, it's bad, but like that's what it is. No one treats her well, but the story doesn't acknowledge this.
Yeah, like I don't feel bad.
It's two different stories. It's two different stories because then she goes off and she's kind of like put on display as a freak. She's like, you know, all over magazines and stuff. And then she's real sad. She has a lot of money, but she's real sad, and so she runs away and then like sits on a cliff, and the Cat in the Hat's like, hey, you can use flowers to tell if people love you.
Yeah.
And the flower starts plucking itself to see if the town loves her or not.
Yeah, and then this monster rises out of the water and they try to fight, but then like the monster tells her that she stinks. Oh wait, that was a different nominee.
No. Yeah, no, that's much better. Yeah, so she goes back to the town and then she's happy. Like, oh, and the flower just goes away
and then comes back.
It's very.
It doesn't make sense.
No. I think my cynical take is that like there were parts of this that were written by Dr. Seuss, just like the fantastical nature of some girl growing a plant out of her head seems Dr. Seussian enough. But like everything else about this was probably written by some committee somewhere.
I am 100% convinced that flower, knowing Dr. Seuss and his work, that flower was definitely supposed to be significant of something, and I feel like that was just completely lost in the final work. Like I feel it was just tampered with so much that just was no longer important to the story, and it really wasn't. It was just an excuse for her to be exiled, basically, from everyone.
Philip, was that Tim Curry as the agent guy? That was my guess, but I never actually looked it up. I like the agent guy the best, but he also disappears from the story. Yep. You would think, in this kind of story, you would think that her running away would make him really mad and try to chase her down or something. No.
Yeah, there's nothing about the fact that she signs a contract that's just forgotten about. Like, there's no consequences to it.
No. Everything you think you know about a story where, like, you know, someone is taken advantage of and made a freak, right? Like those type of stories, this is not, it doesn't follow any of that same logic. Like, I'm trying to think of another show. I'm sure there's others where you sign a deal and then...
I've definitely seen this story before in other media,
Pinocchio?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Somewhat. But yeah, I think, I mean, like, with a more competent story would be the flower would coincide with, like, I don't know, her turning 13 or something, or like some major life change, or like her parents are getting divorced and it's like a cry for attention or something. I don't know. There would be something more to it. Whatever metaphor you read into it is not supported by any text, or as far as the special goes. I can't say I've read the book, so I don't know how the book is. But if this is a direct adaptation, and I think it is because it was made. They were made simultaneously.
Right.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
No, this was very bad. Definitely not worthy of a nomination.
There's also like, bees chase her through the town.
Oh yeah, that part.
and the police officers after her. Like, no one likes this girl. And by the way, Maisie says a cumulative like 30 words in this whole thing.
That might be too much, honestly.
She doesn't get to say anything, and you might think, clever viewer, you might think, oh, well, that's a part of her character, right? She doesn't speak up for herself. And the flower is a way for, like, her, you know, her body to get attention. It's a cry for her help. No, you're wrong. You were wrong! That would make sense! That is not what is happening. She just is written without a personality.
She has no character.
She isn't even really bothered by the flower,
she gets a one full sentence in the whole special, and it's the last line of everything. I don't even remember what she said, but that's the only sentence she gets. Every other time she even speaks, she gets like a word, maybe 2 or 3 in, and that's it, as like a reaction to someone else. But she never thinks or speaks for herself at all in all of this. Yeah, it's... Oof, it's not good.
Yeah. Apparently, also, they re-released the book without the Cat in the Hat as the narrator. I don't know why. I guess because the Cat in the Hat is, like, super irrelevant other than that he saves her at the end, even though, like, she could have gotten home any other way.
Yeah. He's the fast travel. That's all he is. Yeah, I don't know. I would never watch this ever again.
No. And again, to be cynical, I would say that the Cat in the Hat was added because, like, hey, we gotta have the marketability of Dr. Seuss. Ironically, Dr. Seuss and his legacy are kind of put in the freak show in terms of what I don't know. I don't know the full story. Who knows? Maybe it was his intentions all along, but yeah. Yeah. When there's money to be made, creators dying does not stand in the way.
Nope.
This was originally made by Hanna-Barbera, aired on TNT, can be found in the Horton Hears a Who special on DVD. So something that is worth saying is that the art style is very like Dr. Seussian. It's good. It looks good. The animation is like it's passable for the time. I don't think it really is anything special. I think the character designs are better than the animation itself.
Yeah.
It's Hanna-Barbera, so, you know.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
I don't really have much else either. It's just not something I could really recommend to anybody. I wouldn't. No. I would say avoid this because you're not going to get anything out of it. There's not even a moral to be like. There's not even a moral to be obtained. There's literally nothing here.
They should ban this book too.
Yeah.
Not because it's problematic, just because it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, nobody. I don't think anybody would be upset. I mean, I don't even know how many people. I mean, I could be wrong, but like, in all of my childhood, I never knew that Daisy Head Maisie existed. None of the kids that I would ever talk to about Dr. Seuss, none of them ever knew it existed. Like, I don't even know how well known this title is in particular. You know, there are tons of Dr. Seuss books that I can name. You know, and most people will be like, yeah, I know the Sneetches, I know Yertle the Turtle, I know Green Eggs and Ham, you know, but like, I don't think that many people know Daisy Head Maisie.
No.
So.
What if the flower is supposed to represent death? Well, that's morbid.
It'd be, I feel like that wouldn't work because like the flower is directly acknowledged to be in sync with her life force, so if the flower dies, she dies and vice versa. So like, they want to keep the flower alive. Well, okay, so like you could say it's like, okay, no, I'm not gonna give this too much credit. I'm not gonna give this credit for this. Never mind.
No, but that's the thing too about this is that there's so many like plot elements that aren't really relevant. Like you mentioned, if the flower dies, she dies. It's like E.T. rules.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It comes up once. It's not this kind of story where she's really in danger of dying. Like, it's not like she dramatically tries to remove the flower and starts dying when it wilts or whatever. Like, it's just... I don't know.
Yeah.
A part of me also... Like, again, a cynical part of me also says that, like, maybe the people making this or people watching this at the time were like, well, it doesn't really make any sense, but let's trust Dr. Seuss because he's a beloved children's author. Not without problem, but he is a beloved children's author.
Yep.
And yeah, so I feel like sometimes that's what happens. It's stuff gets made that's just utter nonsense, and they're like, well, it's for kids, so who cares? Or you know, oh, it makes sense to kids or whatever. But yeah, please, I mean, watch it if you I don't know if you hate animation.
if you hate doing productive things with your time.
Yeah. Okay.
And speaking of things made for kids that are like utterly wastes of time, Tiny Toons Adventures Night Ghoulery.
Oh.
I don't know if I'd say it's a total waste of time, but
all right. So this is a 44-minute special of Tiny Toons, which is an anthology of horror film parodies and horror TV show parodies. It's all parodies all the way down.
yay.
I can't run through them all. I mean, I can summarize some of them. That one of them is a parody of the Telltale Heart, the first segment. One of them is a parody of, like, I think Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a parody of the Twilight Zone episode Terror at 50,000 Feet.
There's a Casper the Friendly Ghost one.
Yeah. The animation is great. I agree. This is probably the best animated thing on here.
Mm-hmm.
And even a lot of the stylistic touches, like some of them are in black and white. The first one with Plucky here, the Telltale Heart parody, it's got very great atmosphere. The obviousness of this pun belittles us all. Thank you for the super chat, Toon J. Like, there's great style here, and for cartoony animation, like, I think this is pretty great.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, it definitely looks good, and the animation aspect has definitely held up even to this day. I would honestly say that the best part of this entire special for me was the intro that they ended up cutting out of the Hulu upload, because that original, like, intro,
it's a parody
is
of
incredible.
It's a parody of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
And then it transitions into the Tiny Toons theme song, but like a spooky version of it.
Yeah,
when they
it's
have
like
different lyrics.
Yeah, like last week when they did the Pinky and the Brain Christmas special, you know, it had its updated intro with like Christmassy elements. It's the same concept here before that one, where you get to see the characters in like different Halloween costumes. There's lots of different references to stuff, and it's cool, but then the references just continue throughout the entire special, and it's wow. Like, I feel like almost in a way it could have been made today with how reference heavy it is, because it doesn't feel like there's very much originality here at all, if I'm being honest.
No, I hated this, to be completely honest. I thought that the Plucky segment was, not the Plucky segment, the Telltale Vacuum or whatever it was, that was the best and only thing that I enjoyed out of this whole thing after the intro. Really, stop watching after 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, like, do you like references? Especially, like, now, 90s references?
Outdated references that a lot of people don't get.
Apparently, Babs's character, and she's the narrator here, her thing is that she does celebrity impressions of people from the 90s that I don't know who they are.
Yep.
It's not the show's fault that we're watching this 30 years later, but, like,
it doesn't hold up in that regard.
No. And then also just all of the segments are just, like, very straightforward parodies. They don't feel like Tiny Toons or they don't feel cartoony. Aside from the Vacuum one, all of the rest of them are just like there's one where Plucky and Buster go to a haunted mansion.
Buster! The whole time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it's basically just Plucky runs into a bunch of monsters. That's it. There's the ghost one where it's like a parody of Casper the Friendly Ghost, and then of course they reference Ghostbusters, which is like a 10-year out of date reference by the time this came out. Yeah. But it I don't know. It's so reference heavy that I just zoned out. You know, the references I got, like the Twilight Zone parody, I didn't like. The references I didn't get, I didn't like. And then even when they do more Tiny Toons spins on them, like the Frankenstein one, where Elmira makes Gossamer, but she includes part of her brain, so Gossamer is just like obsessed with hugging and stuff. I didn't like. I found that annoying.
Yeah.
The joke that Toonjay super chatted, the brains joke about, they're looking for a brain for Frankenstein, so it's the brain from Pinky and the Brain. That might be one of the best jokes and the best actual references, because it's an in-house reference. Like,
Yep.
It's a reference that makes sense, that I recognize, that they already have Maurice LaMarche. There was another thing in that Twilight Zone parody where Plucky starts referencing Star Trek all the time in that short. And I'm like, why is this happening? And I looked it up, and sure enough, in Twilight Zone, that episode starred
William
what's his
Shatner.
face? Yeah, William Shatner, Captain Kirk. Okay, I guess that's a reason why Plucky is referencing Star Trek so much, but like, it doesn't make it funny.
Yeah, and unless you know that, you're not going to get it. Like, the fact that Pi had to look it up to even understand it, like, it makes sense, but I don't feel like it's a super common thing to reference that people would understand why there's so many Star Trek references there.
I think one or two references would have done it and maybe been clever and fun. But the fact that they did so many that I had to look it up and was distracted, like, it's not. It's like they had the one idea.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it's just dragged out across the entire short. And it feels like all of them are like that, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't find this to be super enjoyable, and I mean, it's cool. Like I can definitely get the sense that this is a holiday special, and they're definitely like into it. But I feel like it's too reliant on outside material to where it doesn't have its own identity.
Correct.
And
even the wraparound segments
Yeah.
are a parody of some Rod Sterling horror anthology, not Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but
So, yeah.
I don't know what to like. I wanted to like this, and I did like the Telltale Vacuum. So, like, to put it into perspective, like, basically, Plucky is narrating about how much Hampton vacuuming annoys him, because Hampton's a neat freak, I think, and so he, in the middle of the night, takes the vacuum and dismantles it and hides it under the floorboards, and it's like, it's funny because it's not about a human that he murdered. It's about just like a
vacuum cleaner, yeah.
Right, and I feel like Edgar Allan Poe is a broad enough reference that, like, that one is like, it's a classic literature reference at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most people are at least aware of what, Telltale Heart is. It's one of his most famous works. Like,
it was created by Steven Hillenburg.
Oh my gosh.
In the episode Squeaky Boots.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I also made a joke that there's a duck and a pig in that short, just like in Duckman.
Yeah.
It's Duckman and Corn-Fed. Yeah, but yeah, it's just so reference laden, and I'm gonna go on the record and say that celebrity impressions are the lowest form of humor, and any show that dares do such a thing is creatively bankrupt.
Yep, and
Right,
that's
right, Gendy.
Yes. And that's
Thank
why
you.
we always get our guests on our show instead of impersonating them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's true. All right, so I guess we can move on to the final nominee then.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I always want to like Tiny Toons. Depending on the episode, some episodes are animated really well, some of them aren't. The premise of the show is interesting, but like they just kind of throw it away. This episode, I think it is worth saying, nothing about this has anything to do with them being like a new crop of Looney Tunes characters going to Looney Tunes school.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Like, I'm not saying that everything on the show has to feed back into that premise, but like there is nothing that would tell you that. There are a few classic Looney Tunes characters that appear, like Gossamer and Witch Hazel.
Yep.
But that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm good to move on then.
Yes, please.
All right, so last but not least, we have The Simpsons with the episode Lisa's Wedding.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. So Lisa is at a Renaissance fair and finds a fortune teller who tells her the story of her first love, where we're in the distant future of 2010,
Yeah.
and Lisa's going to Yale with a boy that infuriates her, and then she falls in love with, but he's a kind of a stuffy Englishman, and he doesn't really fit in well with the crass Simpsons, and there's just big drama over the differences. And
Yep.
as we can see in this iconic scene that Shadow cropped, Lisa decides to marry Homer in the end anyway.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a little subversive, but I thought it was a really bold choice.
Keep it in the
I'm sorry.
family.
No, this is a beloved episode. This is a very sweet one. I should not sully it with jokes. Although The Simpsons sure makes a lot of jokes about family members being, or like brother and sister, husband and wife, like Milhouse's parents, and just all of Cletus's family. Also, other characters Shadow has never heard of.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who that is to really have a reaction to that.
Yep. Yeah, this is the first Simpsons Future episode, and I just think it's a really good episode. You can definitely see a lot of Futurama DNA, right? Like a lot of ideas that they came up with here that would kind of later be implemented in Futurama. This was obviously a few years before it. But production on Futurama had probably only began like a year or two after this. So yeah, you have a lot of fun future jokes. You have a lot of fun like English and American culture clash stuff, and then you have like a good emotional core with Lisa and Homer, and just Lisa's family in general. And on top of all of that, it's a really great portrayal of Lisa. You really get the sense that like this is absolutely the person that Lisa would turn out to be. She's still very conscious of social and societal issues. She's very well spoken. She's very eloquent, but she has a soft spot for her family.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think this is a very enjoyable episode, and I really like how, it. What's the word I want to use here?
Beautiful, fantastic, a cinematic masterpiece.
Wholesome is the word I would use. I think it's very wholesome because, it's one of those episodes where, you have the characters kind of like embarrassed of their family, but regardless of that, how ridiculous they might be, that, they still love them at the end of the day. And the moments with like Lisa and Homer, especially, like that's like a huge character moment for me that makes it like really enjoyable. And it's an interesting concept. I think after having seen other like future Simpsons episodes, this one's probably my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah.
It honestly feels like it blows a lot of them out of the water.
It's classic Simpsons.
Yeah,
baby!
it really is, and it really shows. Like I get it. I understand why people love classic Simpsons so much. Just seeing these couple episodes so far, like it's really good. It's really well written, and I think some of the jokes are on point. Yeah, it's solid and definitely deserved to be nominated.
I would like to remind everyone, by the way, to vote in the poll. There's a link down in the description for the episode that you think is most worthy here. I'd like to remind everyone during this particular episode to vote.
Yeah, and definitely. I'm not trying to sway anyone's vote here, but don't vote for Daisy Head Maisie because I said so. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sway anyone or anything, but don't vote for it.
Yeah, there's a lot crammed into this one, and I also really like the way they do the future in this. Like, it's very clear that it's not necessarily the future of The Simpsons. It's Lisa runs into a fortune teller who frames this story device.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up there. Holidays of Future Past is also up there in terms of like the best future episodes, but Lisa's Wedding might still be the best one. It just has that like classic Simpsons flair. There's a lot of really great jokes. The one that stands out to me the most is the the flag and the compost, which has nothing at all to do with the future. And it's just funny to me that you have all these future jokes, but there's also just jokes about like Americans and Britain and British people. Like,
we saved you in World War II. Yeah, but we saved you in World War III. It's like, yep, you're right.
But I like the joke with the flag where it accidentally catches on fire and Bart and Homer take it down and they throw manure on it to put out the fire.
Oh man.
And I also like that they don't villainize Hugh to a great degree. Like, you kind of see where he's coming from because he does put up with a lot of the Simpson family shenanigans. And it's only when, like, you know, he kind of makes it clear that they're not really going to see Lisa's family that much, that Lisa kind of puts her foot down. And I feel like that's a very, I guess, relatable relationship hurdle, right? The in-laws. But especially because, like, yeah, Lisa rolls her eyes a lot at her family, and her family's embarrassing and difficult. And I could see how Hugh might get the impression of just like, well, yeah, it's her family, but we're gonna take her away. Like, we're saving her from them. I can see where he might get that impression. But no, Lisa loves her family, no matter how much she rolls her eyes or you know, doesn't fit in with the rest of them or whatever. She is a Simpson, and she loves her family. And I like the touch with the cuffs, the cufflinks. There was a beautiful touch in that it is, you know, Homer has one tradition, and it you know, it's perfectly fitting of the Simpsons, right? Is that, you know, please wear these cuffs of this, like, bride and groom pig, right, on your wedding day, which is like perfectly, you know, gaudy and weird and the sort of thing that Hugh wouldn't want to do, but you know, sweet. Like, I absolutely would do it. I don't care how silly it would make me look if you know, if I had a father-in-law that was like that and that asked me to do that on my wedding day, I would, because that's, you know, important. You're merging the families. Yeah. And I like how Homer doesn't make a big deal about it either. That's like a pretty good character growth. It's subtle, but Homer is also more mature in this than he is in the present day. He kind of feels a little wizened, in a way that he really isn't even in the other ones. It kind of in Holidays of Future Past. Holidays of Future Past is good because it also feels like very similar to this episode, in a lot of, like, in a lot of the portrayals. Although it is utterly depressing to think that Lisa ended up with Milhouse of all people.
Yeah.
But Simpsons' future is always in flux, so it can always change. But yeah, just a very, like, the sort of Simpsons episode that has it all. Really good jokes, like a really cool premise of the future and everything. Like a good kind of heartfelt core to it all. And yeah, like, I think this is worthy of being Emmy nominated. There's the future aspect, sure, like that, you know, that's a little different from what the show usually does, but also just, it's a very well-told story, I would say.
Absolutely. I'm in complete agreement with you.
Milhouse doesn't count. I agree, Toons. That's a good joke, too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm in complete agreement. I definitely think it deserved to be nominated, and I don't really have that many negative things to say about it at all, so...
Chat got dead silent. I really don't have a huge Simpsons fan base here. Jeez.
Dang.
Woof. Well, Mr. Joe did say it's their favorite Simpsons episode of all time, and I agree with you. I think this is up there for me. I think it's maybe a hot take, but I think A Dozen and One Greyhounds is the funniest episode of The Simpsons. But I think in terms of, like, heartwarming episodes, I think this might just take it for me. Yeah, it's a great episode. Yeah, you love The Simpsons. Yeah, let's get the love going.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's the best animated show about a yellow character.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, and there is a lot of absurdist humor here, like Martin being the fan of the opera for no real reason.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's bizarre. Also, this episode's awkward in that there's a number of characters, and I didn't point them out because I don't want Shadow to be spoiled, but there's a number of characters that die over the course of the show that appear in the background in the future here. It's kind of awkward.
That's rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
All right. Well, that said, those were the 5 nominees for 1995.
Oh, yeah.
So
All
now
right.
we go over which ones we would pick, because I remember.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah. So do you want to go first, or should I?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Why not? So the period was, just to get this straight, it's June 1994 to June 1995.
Yes.
I am going to pick I Have No Son from Rocko's Modern Life, which was directed and storyboarded by Steven Hillenburg and Doug Lawrence. Just saying. Story by Joe Murray and Martin Olson. But yes, it's the first half-hour special of Rocco, in which he finds out that his favorite TV show is actually made by his neighbor's kid. And as it turns out, there is a lot of frustrated parent-child feelings between them. It goes into the Big Head's kids' basically frustrations with being an artist, and Joe Murray has said that very much represents like his conflicted feelings with being an artist. It's a very good episode. I think it kind of hits on some really real things, and it's also the foundation of the phenomenal Static Cling special.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't really want to say anything else. If you haven't seen it, I think it's definitely up there in terms of top Rocko's Modern Life episodes, and Rocko's Modern Life's a really good show. So, I highly recommend it.
Good pick. Good pick.
I have no son.
All right. Well, as for my pick, there was a show that was airing on a certain network at the time. It was called
The Powerpuff Girls.
No, it was called Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh
and
my God.
as it just so happens, one of the episodes, there was a show that was premiering on Cartoon Network at the time called Dexter's Laboratory. You might have heard about it. And Space Ghost got the official creator of Dexter's Lab to go on his show in the episode President's Day Nightmare / first annual world premiere tune-in. And it's got Gendy in it.
Shadow's never even seen this. He's just nominating it because of Gendy.
Gendy's in it. Yes. Where is he here? Did Gendy leave? Gendy, are you? No.
I never on this show. They took me aside. They told me, "Hey, Mr. Gendy, we would like to interview you in a very serious way about your struggles in life and the hardships you've faced." And I answered very honestly, and then they took my interview and they chop it up and they made it into a mockery.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Gendy. I'm still gonna make this my nomination though, but
Mamma mia.
So yeah,
right, Gendy.
Honestly, we're at the point where I don't know anymore. So I'm picking that because memes.
But in seriousness, Space Ghost.
In seriousness, yeah, Space Ghost is a very interesting animated show because it's a creative use of
animation. Yeah.
Yes, it's a very creative use of taking something that already existed and reinterpreting it into something new. It incorporates live action elements with animated characters. The voice performances are fun and zany. Like, it's definitely got a personality and is a show that, you know, is fun to watch from time to time. So, like, no, all joking aside, I do appreciate Space Ghost as a show. But
it was the kind of show. It's a very like Adult Swim show, although it came out before Adult Swim.
Yep.
Just in that it's the sort of thing that you tune into late at night and be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting. It would still hold your attention. Not the kind of show you'd want to marathon ever.
Right.
But it was a very interesting show.
Yeah. Personally speaking, C-Lab 2021 was also made in a similar vein, and I personally prefer that one more to Space Ghost, but they're both really good, and I definitely encourage anyone who might not have ever seen it before to at least check out an episode every so often, because it can be pretty funny with some of the stuff they come up with.
Thank you for the super chat, Toon J, who says Baby Doll from Batman the Animated Series. Oh, that's a good one. That's a real spicy one.
But it doesn't have Gendy in it.
Shush. I just want to say, Toon J, thank you so much for being a part of the show, being so engaged. Thank you for being up to date on so many pieces of trivia and where to find certain things, and you've just been a big help. So, round of applause to Toon J, everyone.
Yeah, honestly, the show probably wouldn't be the same without him because in our Discord server, Toonjay posts a lot of interesting stuff about the nominees each week whenever he like finds anything. He's definitely been very helpful with that. So yeah, mad respect to Toonjay out there.
Follow Toon J on Twitter.
Yeah. And then
delete Twitter.
And then give him a cookie. Yeah, and then delete Twitter.
Didn't Gendy work on Batman the Animated Series? I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't know.
We'll find out. Okay. So anyway, those are our nominees. You know what? I take it back. I nominate Toonjay!
Oh! But was Toonjay created between June 1994 and June 1995?
They might be. I don't know. We got a lot of viewers who were born in the mid-90s.
I don't know.
You don't post. You don't post much on Twitter. You're using it right, Toonjay.
Yeah, there you go.
You're using it right.
But yeah.
All right. Next up, it's our rankings.
Okay.
You know what, Shadow?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
All right. Look. Daisy Head Maisie is just the worst. It's the worst. It's just the worst.
It's bad.
I would rather watch Night Ghoulery 5 times than watch Daisy Head Maisie again. Well, maybe not 5 times. But anyway, Daisy Head Maisie is very bad. It's like insulting to Dr. Seuss's legacy, to be completely honest. In that it's a story that its moral doesn't line up with what's presented. It's just flagrantly about bullying some kid. It's got obnoxious rhymes and songs, and no, it's very awful. Just above that, I'm gonna put Night Ghoulery. I'm sorry, too parody heavy. Just too parody heavy. If you want to take the basic framework of a story and then run with it, sure. But seeing all of these parodies, these very brief parodies back to back to back, it just kind of felt like a clip show of a bunch of movies that I haven't seen or care about and don't care about. But done worse. I don't know. It has good animation. I'll give it that, but it stinks. Above that, I'll put Dexter's Laboratory Changes. To be honest, I don't really love Changes either, and I would have maybe given Night Ghoulery above it just on animation if Night Ghoulery wasn't so obnoxiously long. Changes is pretty fast. But I think Changes does have a bunch of really cool character designs in its favor, and it's a simple premise that it works. It's just 2 characters fighting over a button, really. But it does what it can with that premise. At number 2, I am going to put a Rugrats Passover. It's very culturally aware. It's got good animation, good art design, good style. It's like a clever use of a kind of modern day framing device to then put the Rugrats kids in the Passover story. I like a lot of things about it. I don't really have much bad to say about it, but at number 1, I have to give it to Lisa's Wedding just because it's just a fantastic all-around episode. If this was like the series finale to The Simpsons, I would be completely fine. You know what I mean? It's the kind of story that I think it's just so great for Lisa as a character. It hits on so many good points of comedy, of humor, of observational jokes, of everything. And the fact that the Tiny Toon Adventures episode feels more dated than an episode that canonically takes place in the future year of 2010 should tell you how good Lisa's Wedding is, because it's just funny. It doesn't feel like, oh man, why don't we have this technology 10, 12 years after? No, they obviously made it ridiculous and super futuristic just for fun, same way that Back to the Future did. Yep. Lisa's Wedding 100% takes the cake. Season 6 of The Simpsons is my favorite season of the show. I think that everything is just beautiful about it, and I love it. So,
all right, not bad. Yeah, as for me, Daisy Head Maisie, absolute bottom of the barrel, worst nominee here, and one of the worst things, maybe not the worst, but one of the worst things I think we've ever had to sit through. Very poorly made, a complete nonsense story with a thrown-in moral that...
Not only is it not like a good story, there's nothing fun about it.
No.
Like our friend Martin was not...
Is it our friend or my friend?
Stop.
Man, I don't
Stop.
remember.
I don't know. Everyone's friend Martin. Like the story doesn't exactly make sense, but it's fun, right?
Yeah.
It's got a fun premise. It has fun with the concept, right? Daisy and Maisie is not a good story, and it's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely number 5 on my list, no questions asked. Number 4, I'm also going to put Night Ghoulery because, again, I think, this is like an award for animation. I don't think something deserves a reward or an award if it's just going to rely on other things doing the work for it. Because that's all this special is at the end of the day.
Mr. Streak, I will point out, it is important to mention, last week we talked about a Treehouse of Horror episode where at least one of the segments was a pretty direct movie parody, but...
It expanded on it and used different... It treated the ideas in a different way that it gave it a new kind of refreshing experience.
It was also funny.
Yeah.
Classic Treehouse of Horror is funny.
Yeah.
And they're not like... I don't know. I feel like the segments in Treehouse of Horror are also longer than a lot of the Tiny Toons ones.
Yeah. And there was never a special where it was just oh Buster for 5 minutes straight. That was almost as obnoxious as Daisy Head. Almost.
I told you it was our friend Martin. Martin is a friend of everyone, Shadow.
Dude,
he's not just my friend.
I don't remember.
It's our friend. Media Fanatic says so, and I trust Media Fanatic. He's my friend. He's our friend.
Okay. All right. I won't argue because I don't know. Let me think. So, what was that? That was 4. So 3, yeah, Dexter's Lab. Pretty much same reason. It's a fine cartoon. They had fun with it. They got to show off some cool animals. It was, classic, slapsticky, and it didn't overstay its welcome, and it wasn't bad. Number 2. This is another one of those years where it's like I could give it to either one because they're both doing different things and they both do what they're trying to do very, very well. So it's like,
all right,
I don't know which one to give it to because like I respect them both.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the Rugrats one is the more culturally like relevant.
Yeah, like it's very significant and prominent and definitely deserves to be recognized because it does what it does very, very well. Yeah, I could go either way on these.
Well, while you're deliberating, we have a special guest off stage. He didn't make anything this week, but he has a very special announcement for you all.
Oh boy.
Well, hello there. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Judge, and I gotta tell you, I got a new King of the Hill coming out. We're doing a reboot.
But aren't you already doing that for Beavis and Butthead?
We're gonna have episodes where Hank discovers that Bobby's become a TikTok star.
Mr. Judge, get off this show.
And we're gonna have episodes where Luann starts twerking.
All right, so I'm going to put Rugrats Passover at number 2, and I'm going to also put Lisa's Wedding at number 1. But honestly, it could go either way. Because, again, I feel like they're different, but they achieve their goals exceptionally well. As far as Lisa's Wedding goes, I mean, this is, like, again, a very wholesome episode. I agree. It does Lisa's character a great service, and it's just really enjoyable. The comedy is definitely there, and the story is simple but effective. I really feel for, Lisa, and yeah, it was an enjoyable time. I really loved this episode, and I would happily watch it again.
We're going to have an episode where Boomhauer gets big.
All right, so now we announce which one actually won the award. So let me see here. I got to pull up my document. I'm just kidding. I already know what won. The actual winner of the Emmy was indeed Lisa's Wedding. Yay!
Well, all right. Congratulations, Matt Groening.
Well, you can't mention that name on the show, Mr. Judge. I'm not sure if he caught the memo.
Shadow, why did you pick the guy that makes that made the show that appears every week? Why did you ban him? We could have.
Because he insulted all of the other reindeer. He hurt my feelings.
Well, facts don't care about your feelings, Shadow.
Well, the fact of the matter is that all of the other reindeer is fantastic. And Mr. Groening is wrong about his own work.
We're going to have an episode where...
Are you still here? Oh, CDCB with the $2 super chat. Y'all should make Mike Judge an award show judge. I don't know about that one, CDCB. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Judge. Why don't you rank these 5 episodes? Which one was the worst and which one was the best?
Dale's gonna get into P-Anon, which is Propane Anonymous.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow.
I have an episode where Peggy believes anti-vax.
This man is literally just here to kickstart his show. He doesn't even care about us.
That's Mr. Judge, save some premises, please. We don't need to know the whole first season.
Yeah, you're spoiling everything.
Donald Trump moves in next door where Khan used to live.
Oh my gosh. What happened? You know what? No, I don't want to know. Never mind. Okay. Let's go ahead and go on over to that poll, Pie. What are the poll results looking like?
I just have to say that I'm glad Lisa's wedding won. I think it absolutely deserved it, 100%.
Yep.
Very much so. So, okay. Poll results. So, I hope you guys didn't disappoint me.
We're about to find out.
We're gonna have an episode where Joseph learns that he's a Native American. It's gonna be a very beautiful episode. Very touching.
Okay. Well, that one doesn't sound too bad.
No. And he's gonna use his power to cancel people on Twitter.
Okay, well, you just had to ruin it. You had me in the first half, not gonna lie.
All right. Okay. So, out of a poll with... Also, I just want to say that the views of Mike Judge are not representative of Pie Guy or the award show Audit in general, or Shadow. Just throwing that out there.
It's true.
Okay. Out of 363 votes, in dead last, with 6%, it is Dexter's Laboratory.
Are you serious? Are you for real right now?
Why you do this to poor Gendy the day after his birthday?
Gendy did not deserve this. Wow, I can't believe you. I can't believe you all. Chat, you disappoint me. Why would you?
Gendy's gonna cancel the Samurai Jack of season 7.
Gendy, season 6 hasn't even happened.
Well,
the show's over. Gendy, you finished it like 5 years ago. What are you talking about?
Gendy is to give you a season 6. It's also gonna be a season 6 of Dexter's Lab. It's gonna be a big crossover special.
How do you even continue? Never mind.
Okay. Anyway, coming in at number 4, with 7% of the vote, it is Night Ghoulery. Tiny
What
Toon
the heck? Oh wow. Wow, I see how it is. The chat was like, let's do the exact opposite of what Shadow said. Let's just go ahead and go make him upset.
To do it.
I'm disappointed in everyone. You all let me down. I can't believe you made Gendy cry. Wow.
I just have to say
What do you have to say, Mike Judge? What do you have to say?
This poll was stolen. It was a stolen election. I have to say it.
Mr. Judge, you're like that guy in an awkward situation where you're not involved in any of it, but you just feel the need to insert yourself into the problem. That's you right now. I hope you're aware of that.
All right, Mr. Judge, if you're gonna keep spouting these opinions, we're gonna have to kick you off the show. All right, bye, Mr. Judge. Okay. So yeah. Changes at number 5 with 6%, Night Ghoulery 7%. In third, it is with 20% of the votes. A Rugrats Passover?
You're lying to me. You're making this up.
No, I'm
You
not.
are making this up.
I wouldn't lie.
This is not
20
real. This is not real. You're pulling my leg.
At 24% of the vote, it is the Stacey Head Macy.
How does that thing have 24%?
I don't know.
Are you kidding me? I need to see this for myself. How does this have 24%?
Well, look, at number 1, it's 44% is Lisa winning. I don't care about any of the rest of this crap.
No, I do. I absolutely
chose the right one.
do. What? Hang on. I need to see this. What? How? How does it have that much?
Before Shadow influenced the poll, it was Simpsons 55%, Rugrats 24%, Tiny Toons 10%, Dexter 6%, Daisy Head Maisie 5%. Really, Toon Jay. We might have been invaded by bots.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah, that's the last time I tell people to vote for the poll. Just
We're
don't
gonna have
vote.
to-
Just don't vote.
next season on the award show audit, we're gonna do the award show audit, where we rewatch the episodes again, and talk about what you guys picked and why you're wrong.
Yeah.
No.
And then after that, we'll make the award show audit, where we audit our own episodes, where we talked about the episodes, and we rank each one that we did.
I just have to say,
No, you were already kicked off the show, Mr. Judge. You're gone.
get out.
You're
You're not the
gone.
judge anymore. Go make your show. But yeah, Shadow, you told people to vote for it, so
I told people not to vote for it.
well, people are contradictory.
Well,
That's
that's
life,
the last
Shadow.
time I put faith in people.
In a voting system.
In a voting... Well, no. I haven't had faith in voting systems in a long time. But anyway, I guess on that note, we may as well go over the 5 nominees for next week.
Yeah, we made Gendy cry. He ran away.
Yeah.
Will we ever see him again?
I don't
Maybe.
know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
All right.
Okay. All
Do
right.
it.
So that was 1995. Let's move on to 1994. The half-hour category, no hour-long category again. 5 nominees.
Just to make it clear, we are going to cover that 1 hour special from like
97.
1997.
Yeah.
We are going to still cover that, but we're going to do it when we cover the last 1 hour category, which is what, 93?
91.
91. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's going to be towards the end.
Yeah,
Don't
so
worry, we won't escape the horrors of the hour or more category
Yeah.
for quite a while.
It's not over yet.
Nope.
We're just putting it off.
Yep.
Okay, so 5 nominees, 1994. First up, we have The Roman City.
What?
It's
What is
just-
it?
It is The Roman City.
Well, what is it though? Is it?
Well,
I've legitimately
well,
never heard of this.
That's okay. Don't look it up. We'll watch it together, and you'll find out. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Next up, we have a Flintstones Family Christmas.
Not to be confused with the Flintstones Christmas.
Yes.
It's a different Christmas
It's a
special.
different one. Yep.
Did you smear some Visine on the screen cap there?
No, that's the quality that the official Warner Archive YouTube channel uploaded it in. So,
Beautiful. Love
yeah, I know. We've also got Duckman with TV or Not to Be.
it. Oh, that is the question.
Yes.
It's the first episode after the pilot.
Mm-hmm. But not the pilot, unlike a certain Dexter's Lab cartoon.
Next up, it's the 8th pilot for Dexter's Lab.
Yes. We also have the Ren and Stimpy show with Ren's retirement.
Oh.
Yeah. And then last but not least, The Town Santa Forgot.
Oh. All
Yeah.
these Christmas specials after Christmas. Great.
Yep.
We picked it. We timed it.
We really did.
timed it.
We really did. And
Yep.
no Simpsons.
Is there an award show audit next week? Yeah, why wouldn't there be?
Yep. Yep, there is.
Also, happy late MLK Day to our friend Martin.
To our friend Martin.
Gendy was born on MLK Day.
Oh. So maybe Martin is Gendy's friend too.
What if Gendy
We should
and
ask
Martin...
him. Oh, dude, I wish we asked him if he knew Martin Luther King if they were friends.
It's
If he
Well, I
went,
just have to say, I
Mike
once
Judge, go away.
They call me Mark. They call me Mike Jar Jar Binks. Judge Binks. That's what they call me.
So
I'll
so
stick
no
around.
wonder nobody likes you.
Oh, wow, Shadow, buddy.
I mean that's probably not true of the real life Mike Judge, but you're award show audit Mike Judge, so you're on the internet, so you know it doesn't really matter.
Well, I can promise you all, the creator of Ren and Stimpy will not be joining us next
Oh,
week.
absolutely not. He was
No.
banned before Matt Groening was.
Yeah, no, he's like legitimately a despicable person. But you might notice that there is no Simpsons. So,
yeah, it's because The Simpsons was just bad that year. That's what it was.
no! How dare you?
If you ever wanted to get a rise out of pie, that's how you do it.
That wasn't me. Hi, it's Todd McFarlane Spawn again.
No, your show hasn't even made yet. Go away, Todd. Oh my gosh.
No,
Don't be
but yeah,
angsty somewhere else.
The Simpsons was nominated in the regular comedy category, like with the live action shows. They decided to nominate it, like the Simpsons staff decided to put it up for that award. It didn't win. It didn't. I don't even think it made it to the final nominations. I'm not sure, but yeah, we might end up. I might just still watch that episode anyway and talk about it. I think it's Mr. Plow, which is pretty well known episode of The Simpsons, I would say. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. No Simpsons next week.
Yep.
Invite Billy West. Well, you never know who will show up.
Yeah, we'll have to find out.
All right, I just have to say
Oh
good
my
night,
gosh.
everybody. All right, good night, Mr.
Oh.
Judge Binks.
Good night, Judge Binks. Never come back.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the award show audit. Please join us next week for whatever the
Whatever the Roman city is.
What?
And 2 Christmas specials.
Great.
And Duckman. And that other cartoon. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.